All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to Hanging with the Force, where we talk basketball, where we talk sports in general, we talk entertainment, we talk lifestyle, we just talk every and anything that pertains to life. And today, as we all know, we're going. This is the period for the Olympics, and a lot has been going on in the sports world, especially at the Olympics in France, and I have a very special guest that is going to be here. She's actually based in France. Her name is Nguveren Iorhe. She's my personal person. This kind we go way, way back. She's more than a sister. She's my homeboy, and we're going to be talking with her. It's going to be a very fun hangout. As a matter of fact, I know pretty much almost everything about her. At least early days. Not the so it's gonna be more like a hangout than an interview. So let's just get to it right now. Look, 1 minute. So Ray Yohei is a former professional basketball player, even though she still gets around, still balling and everything. She's represented the Nigerian national team. She played for the Tigress, the first Olympics in 2004. And for us to just see that, especially for us to see what our girls are doing, especially coming off of this win that we just had right now. Hello.
Hi,
Hey, Goovy. How you doing?
see Mr. Gang. I'm cool.
Oh, I see. Looking good.
Thank you.
So how is Francais?
Oh, France is good. The weather is
Okay.
quite very hot, but we're okay. We're fine.
Amazing. I want to speak my own form of French. Say bonjour, comment Msunechi?
Come on with me.
Come on. So, so I'm so happy to have you. I mean, this our hangout has been a
Yeah,
long time coming.
yeah, it's great. It's a good thing you're doing anyway. So I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it too. So, how the Olympics is going on in France. I mean, what's the atmosphere like right now?
It's great. It's
Wow.
when you're out there in the cities where the games are going on, because since it's all over France, those
Yeah.
cities are really moving, and it's really interesting. I've been doing the go and come, because right where I stay, I have to travel a little while before I could watch certain sports. So it's okay, it's fun,
Okay.
and when I can, I'm right in front of the telly watching.
Wow. Of course. We can. What are we without our telling? Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, I want to say congratulations to our girls for us, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it's
was
been
it was a
amazing. What do you
great
have to say about
yeah, it
that?
was a great fight this afternoon. It was a beautiful one.
We thank God, and we're going into the quarterfinals for the first time. But we were going to go into that. Well, first of all, I mean, for all these young ones that don't know you or just heard about you, we say let's go back down history lane. Me, I know. Me, I already know. I know every already. You know, sister.
Happy.
But yeah, but for the good of all the people who are watching and listening and want to know Nguveren Iorhe, first of all, I want to ask. I know you came from a home of sports people. Like Momsi is an all
Yeah.
rounder. Yeah. So I mean, what was during your early days? What was your history in sports? I mean, what kind of sports did you do? I knew you did a lot.
Well, when I was quite younger, before getting to secondary school, those days into high school or college, like some people might call it.
Yeah.
I was just what would I say? Momsy used to play tennis with dad, right? So we'll go like
Okay.
ball girls in that Makodi club,
Yeah.
whatever, you know. So you there,
Yeah.
you learn how to count the 30, 20, 15, so whatever. So there was a
Mm.
basketball court just beside this tennis court then. But then
Okay.
I used to have mom's friends too who used to kind of like play. But then I was very little, so not much interest, you know. Went
Yeah.
through all that and went into secondary school. I was actually playing table tennis and volleyball and a bit of
Yeah.
athletics, you know. I never had interest per se in playing basketball. Actually, we didn't even have a court. In my
Okay.
then back home in my secondary, I don't think I'm not so sure we have one yet. Um, I'm actually talking of Divine Love Catholic Girls College in Katsanala. So
Okay.
basketball was not something we could say we could go into, you know. So I was actually playing table tennis. I was very good in table tennis, and I was playing volleyball. Basketball came
Okay.
after secondary school.
Okay. After secondary school.
Yeah.
Wow. So that means you must have had a lot of coordination from all the other sports you played that actually gave you the coordination to play basketball.
Sometimes I said like there was one time I had I said basketball chose me.
I
I
know,
didn't choose
right?
basketball.
I know, right? I think that's so true. Because the first time I actually watched you play was the 1990 Sports Festival in
Yeah,
Makodi.
yeah, that was barely. If I'm not exaggerating, that was about barely 7 months when I started basketball. Yeah,
Wow, wow, and
because
you are catching up with me
yeah,
now.
getting into basketball was through Momsy as well because after secondary school, I didn't really want to play table tennis anymore. So I went into football like every other member of the family with the boys, you know. So
Yes,
having my height, my elder brother, my late elder brother in blessed memory, Tefa, said, "Oh, you're tall enough to be a goalkeeper." So I was like, goalkeeper? And me, I was like, wanted to be a striker like every other person, you know. So attacker and all that, goals, score goals and all that. So he insisted I should be a goalkeeper. I started training. I was doing very well, but that particular day, I fell. I took a dive and I hit my ear on the floor and was like, no way, it's ended all this today. I'm no longer going to be a goalkeeper.
I ain't gonna do
No,
this no more.
no, no, no. I cried. I picked up my shoes. I don't know if you remember St. Teresa's primary school there in
Yes, I
Makodi.
do.
So I
Yes.
picked up my shoes from there. I was crying and walking home because home was like about 5 minutes away. So getting
Wow.
home, mom was like, "Oh, why are you crying? It's just all about." I said, "No, no, no. I'm done with football." So she didn't say anything. So the next morning, she was like, "Hello, wake up." I was like, "What is it?" She said, "Pick up your basketball shoes." I said, "I don't have one." They say you do. So she now took me from there. I said, "Well, we're heading to." Said, "We're heading to sports council." I said, "For what?" I said, "I have no business in sports council." So she got there. I could remember there was Coach Tina and Coach Api. So she just brought me into the court. She just dumped me at that staircase where you walk up to the spectator stand. I was like, "Do whatever you want to
Yes.
do with her." And that was where my
Wow.
journey started with Auntie Tina and Coach Api. So
Wow. Auntie Tina, the legendary Auntie Tina and Coach Api.
and then
Well,
after I met Coach Sonny, late Coach Sonny as well, who
yes,
was
yes.
my journey started with the three of them, you know. So
Wow, wow. God bless his soul. God bless his soul.
and
So yeah. So I think we have to whoever packed you and you felt like hit your ear, I think we have that person to thank for your basketball career. Even though it was a painful experience.
that's for sure.
Oh, I
That's
know,
for
right?
sure. Yeah. Mm.
We have so many memories. I mean, do you remember when we used to go and train in the hot sun in Makodi?
Ah,
Morning
that's
training.
fun. spend the whole day, right?
I,
Yeah,
no small sum beat us, but it was worth it.
it was worth it.
Yeah,
It was worth
it
it.
was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after the sports festival, then you moved to, I think it was
Um,
first.
right after the festival, coach, no, not coach, Mr. Felix Akiga,
Yeah.
actually contacted Coach Chago, late Coach Chago, and was talking
Okay.
about me. I remember then we had all written jam and we were supposed to go to the university and all that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Akiga was like, Mr. Felix Akiga was like, Goovy has to go to Lagos. So my mom was like, what? That she just wrote her jam and she has a direct entry. She has to go to the university and all that. So I
Mm.
was called upon anyway. So mom said, what do I want to do? I said, I'm going. So she was like, you're
Wow.
going?
Wow.
What about your
Yeah, you
studies?
might make
I told her sports we have explode if you want to. She wasn't
okay.
too too happy about it because I was going to go far away from home and going to be
Yeah.
on my own, being a young lady. But I made that decision, and then my late father was okay about it. So he said, okay, no problem. That since I'm going to a place where it's secured, that's no problem about it. So 1998, I left for First Bank.
Yes.
Mm.
We all remember. We were like, oh, Nguveren has gone, yeah. Yeah. And I want so like going to a new environment, like going to Lagos, especially at a young age, playing with all these senior players. I mean, did you have how was it for you? Who were your influences? Who were the people that looked out for you?
Going to when I arrived First Bank,
Hmm.
like I called her my little mom, Gloria Okereke, which I
Okay.
ideally appreciate and I would say ideally love so much. She was the captain
Yeah.
then. And
Okay.
like I always tell her, I remember the first meal I ate, she made it for me. So she immediately looked out for me and it was quite good. But she made me understood that where I've arrived, I really need to work hard.
Yeah.
So I met everybody and it was all good. It wasn't that tough. All you needed to do was just to walk out, because I knew I had a challenge in front of me. These are experienced players. I was the youngest, and so I needed to walk my butts up to meet up to the standard. So it was quite okay. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Of course, it'll be okay. You were playing for First Bank now. First Bank had all the meremeres.
Of course, that first back was good. First back was
What
the
was some of
was the
the
was, was the
activities?
top team in the country, so it was every female basketballer's dream anyway. So it was good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Amazing. Amazing. That's so wonderful to hear. Um, then we'll talk about of course, your international career kicked off. I mean, you guys started going for continental championships, and then eventually we went to China. You know, that China experience, even till tomorrow, I still talk about it. Nguveren, you have to bring the ball down, give the point guard, then go and enter screen, take the shot, come and catch the rebound, and run back and play defense.
Oh no, I'm sure if I could,
um,
I could give the pass all to myself. Go should do. I would have done it all. But it was a good one. It was a good one. We had
it really
Masai.
was.
Masai, excuse me.
Um,
Masai had
sorry.
confidence in me, so it was quite
Okay.
good.
No,
Mm.
and you actually, of course, we know you actually lived up to the confidence that was had.
Yeah.
So, what were your first experiences with the national team when you started your national team career? I mean, what was that like? How did it start? What was the progression like? Like if you can just,
Um,
you
my
know,
national team career started with the team when we were to play for the first qualifiers. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was in either Togo or Ghana. I can't. I was talking about it lately with Sam, but I think it was Togo where we went for the first qualifiers, and after we went to Ghana as well. So it was okay. Everybody's dream is to play for the national team. The green, white, green thing was what we all wanted. So it was okay. It wasn't rosy, but we're comfortable because the majority of the players were made from First Bank and Customs then. So we went. It was okay. We qualified for the first round. The second one, we didn't actually qualify because I think we're playing for a tournament that was to take us to the, if I'm not mistaken, to the Continentals. It's quite some while sometimes, so I can't really picture it out. But when it
okay.
all started, it was all good. It was all
Mm.
good, and after it led to the rest of the story.
Yes, of course, of course. Then you went back, like, but you eventually went back to school, of course. What triggered that situation? Did Momsi tell you, oh yeah, you have to come back? And how did you balance? Because I know you schooled in ABU, and then
Okay,
you had
that
to do a
that
whole lot.
that's another funny story that I think some people didn't know the end
Okay,
of it.
I know, right? I know, right?
Well, I actually wanted to go to school.
It wasn't meant to be exposed, mom.
You know, I went out for medical studies and geology. So my first
Okay.
choices were ABU, ATBU, which I got direct entry. But because my younger sister was in ATBU, was going to be there, I said, well, let me go so both of us will be together. Getting to ATBU, the head of department I met, and I was talking, I was like, hey, look, I would like to play basketball and at the same time study because since there's no medical studies that I have to do geology. So the man just looked at me and was like, no, it's not possible. I was like, why is it not possible? Well, I was like, no, you can't combine the two. I said, why can't I combine the two? He said, then he now clearly told me that if I want to go play basketball, I should forget about my studies. I was like, oh, so you don't even encourage the two. Well, but let me say the female aspect of it, in the city, in the northern part of Nigeria, where you can understand those things. So it wasn't that easy. I didn't wait. I
Wow.
didn't wait. So I just told my mom that, look, hey, I'm moving. So she was like, okay, come back to Makati. So within the time, I just told myself, but I have ABU as well. Why don't I stop buying Zaria? And I think then Coach Shibi was like trying to contact me. So luckily, I got to
Okay.
Zaria. So on getting to Zaria, there I wanted to go in for the medical studies. So they looked at me. They said, "No, it would be too headache. Combine both." I said, "Well, then what can I go into?" So they were like, "Go into architect." Okay. I got to the
Mm.
architectural department, and the head of study was like, "No, it will be too tough. You can't combine the two." I said, "So what is it that I can do in this school for Christ's sake?" Because I wouldn't stop playing basketball. That's for one. So is there
Mm.
just a department where I can just do the two? so so the guy who was heading the architectural department was like, okay, maybe you can try urban and regional planning. I said, well, just give me something that I can do the two. Because at a point in time, I'm just trying to let you guys know that I wouldn't stop playing basketball. You
Mm.
know. So
Yeah.
I started the studies, and then there was a lot of tournaments. We had to do the university games. There was first bank on the
Okay.
other side. So at the end of the day, Coach Chibi kept defining my year after year. So actually, I didn't end up my studies in ABU. So I had to, because afterwards I traveled out, and then I traveled to Syria where I played for a year.
Okay.
When I came back, I
Okay.
went back into the national team, and then from the
Okay.
national team, Here I am.
Oh, wow. 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 So that you actually almost entered into ATP. I am hurt. We would have carried this goal since now. I didn't even know all of this.
No, because I remember
I'm hurt.
Koshibi defied 2 years from me because when I was leaving for Syria, it was like I was going to defy my year. So when I come back, I
Okay.
could pick up from where I stopped, you know. But things
Yes,
went
yes.
so fast that I
Mm,
I couldn't end up my university degree in ABU. So I left it halfway.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So I mean, how did you end up? Okay, if I since it's my interview here with you, how do you end up from Syria to France? I mean, that is like the that is and what was that journey like? The Exodus.
Well, from Syria, I came back to Nigeria. I don't know if you recall. I came back to
Yes, I do.
Nigeria. I played with First Bank
Yes.
for that year. We then that after when I came back, that was when we went to FISU, right? To China.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I came back into First Bank. So I went up with the national team. I kept doing my
Mm,
stuff, and then from there, from one tournament, international tournament to the other, we had so many tournaments. Then we had the continentals. We had the continentals in Brazil. We had so many tournaments. So I kept doing the stuff, and then from the Olympics, I got to France.
okay.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. So let's talk about the Olympics. I remember like when you guys qualified, I mean, it was the first time any basketball team, male or female, had ever qualified, and you know, you made it. You made it. I think you were still in the country at the time when you made the team.
yeah.
So you were the only home base player. When at that time, when to be a home base player would be like us. So for you, I say, see, once you're a home base player, whether you score 1 million shots, they'll say it's luck. I mean,
Well,
so it really.
yeah, it took Tim, you know how much we worked out, from ABU to
Yes, yes,
Macarthur
I
and
do.
everything, the 3-on-3s we all played all these years, jamming each other back and forth, trying to be better than the other person, shooting shots that we could for who would be the best, So, uh, um, it wasn't easy, I didn't even, in fact, somebody told me that Goovy, I saw your name in the newspaper. I was like, newspaper, what for? They said you've been called to the Olympics. I didn't believe my eyes because I knew that the tournaments took us to the Olympics.
Yes.
Recently, we discussed about it. I myself, Aisha, who is at the Olympics right now as a staff, Colonel Sam Stella.
Okay.
We discussed about it because we qualified for that tournament, but we went there with a wild card. We were not qualified.
Okay.
So having a wild card and going to pick up a tournament which nobody thought you would pick up, it it was
Yes,
it
yes.
was like, let me say, 4 months of hard work. I call it 4 months because the whole journey started from the camp in Cuba, preparing for the All African Games. You know,
Yes, I remember that.
yeah.
Yes.
So we were in shape.
Okay.
So we picked the gold at the All African Games. We went with First Bank. We picked up the gold for the Continentals, the club, and then we went back in Mozambique once again to pick up the gold medal and then qualified for the Olympics. So
Wow.
in 3 months we had a triple gold medal affair. So
Wow.
it was great. So we were all in shape. I didn't expect to be the only home base on that team. I was happy, but at the bottom of my heart, I was sad for so many of us because I knew how much we had worked through to get to that to that to make that happen. You know,
Yes,
so
yes.
I expected that no matter what, even we're not all expecting to be on that team, but at least I was expecting not to be alone, at least three of us or even four to make that team. You know, but I
Uh,
was just the lucky person at that time, so I just say thank God because Olympics is a dream for every athlete
yes.
as of then. So to me, it was a dream come
Mm.
true.
Yes, yes. And the funny thing is like that Olympics was very special because it was in Athens, and that's where the whole Olympic Games started from the historical days. So it was something really, really, really special, and we were so proud of you. All of us like, Nguveren, Nguveren, Nguveren. you know, like okay, I want to ask like which was your best game? What were the games like? Which was your best game? Which was the games that you remember the most in the Olympics?
I remember every game. I remember every
Okay.
game. Our game against Australia, that was the first game. That was why I actually went to see the first game this year because it took me
Okay.
20 years back, you know. So our
Yes.
first game was
Yes.
against Australia, and I remember vividly that we lost with 8 points, you know, in that game. So it was a
Wow.
very, very interesting game. It was a
Mm,
game where you had then Australians, the big athletes, you know, then we're playing against the best player then in the WNBA, which played this year as well, Lauren Jackson. And
yeah.
so
Yes.
she was on fire, you know, those days. So we played one of the
Yeah.
best teams Australia ever had.
Mm,
So it
mm.
was great.
To lose with
Not
just
bad.
8 points. That's
Against Japan. We were leading, but unfortunately we lost. About some minutes to go. I
wow.
didn't like the game against Greece anyway. I never
Oh,
liked it. It was
oh.
it wasn't a fun game. It was weird. But all the
Wow.
same, it was
Okay.
all about experience. So it was
Oh,
cool. You know, we knew very well that probably we could do better, but our better can be best. So because as
yeah.
of then we're just babies coming into the arena, so we couldn't really like say we're going to rub shoulders that much. But just the fact of being there, we're happy.
Yeah, I know. And like this first win that we had, let's come back to the Olympics. We'll still go back to like this our first win against Australia. I mean, first of all, you said that your first game that you have that memory that you guys lost to them. Then there was the fight. Remember the fight in that friendly game that with this Cambridge that Aisha flew in with a left hook. Please, it
We
is.
watched we watched the video together with Aisha last week when I was in Lille with her. We watched that
I,
same video. We were like, God damn it! Really gave her a right.
See, but when I was watching the video, because I know Aisha, as soon as they gave her in the mouth, pam, she slapped her in the face. And I saw Aisha go like this. In my mouth, like, well,
But
it's not around, she's going to revenge, she's going
when
to revenge.
I was watching that
Next
video
thing,
the first time, I was like, is it truly Aisha? I was like,
exactly.
is it Aisha? The first few times I was like, no, Aisha can't do that. But at the same time, when we watched it again and again, I said, my goodness, it's Aisha.
Aisha, oh boy. See, hello, wait, let me say something to the audience. Hey, audience, if you remember the Liz Campbell's video, the one that they were playing against Nigeria and the lady punched her out, that's Aisha, our home girl. Oh, so she came like a train.
Oh no, man! It was like a bulldozer, and she hit her and she fell. You know, so
uh,
we're laughing at just last week while I was with her, Eileen. So we're laughing seriously. I said, "My goodness,
oh
it took
my
me time
goodness.
to understand you are the one out there doing that."
I know, right? Ah, that video, it went viral all over the
It
world,
still
man.
goes viral, you know. So
It goes
I
viral,
so
man.
much
I'm telling
laughed.
you. So like with all that happening, then for us to come at this Olympics and actually beat these girls, I mean, what was that? How did that make you feel?
Just like you saw the way I was screaming in that post I posted on Facebook, you can imagine. I thought I stood up
Yes,
all through the game,
yes,
you know.
yes.
So I was screaming like as if, oh, I've gone nuts, you know. So after here we are, and I was really, I was so proud. I was so proud. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, the good part of it, I still have LJ who came to play. So to me, it was like kind of
Wow.
revenge, you know.
Yes, yes. It's true. And you know, okay, Lauren Jack, okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, I didn't get to see the game because I didn't get to see the game, so I only saw the highlights and
Highlights, yeah.
everything. Yes. Wow. That is, I mean, but it must make you feel so proud for something that you guys like started.
Yeah,
For something that you guys like, see like 20, how many years? Exactly 20 years.
yeah,
20 years down the line.
yeah.
Come on. We don't take small. Oh.
Ah, we don't hold now. We don't hold though.
Oh, I'm telling you. So to see them do it 20 years down the line, I mean that is just amazing, and
It's great.
that's with what has been going on in Nigerian basketball. We'll talk about that one later. You know, say we still got to yarn about that one now.
Nigeria basketball.
Oh, see, I don't know which kind jazz they put for inside our basketball that just doesn't want to allow us.
I don't know.
I'll tell you. See, then just before this interview, you said you were actually watching the game. You know, so how was the game for you? The game against Canada, knowing that we lost to. Okay, before the Canada game, let's talk about the game against France. In
Yeah.
your opinion, what do you think happened?
Against France, I think I wouldn't really understand the psychological aspect our girls had, but the kind of defense they put up on France wasn't the same defense they had with Australia, you know. So if
Okay.
they had put a little bit of what they did against Australia, it would have been a lot better
Mm. Oh,
in France. Probably even if we had lost, we wouldn't have lost with so much points like they did, you know.
yeah.
So I think I wouldn't say tiredness. I would say it's a mental stuff because when we played Olympics 20 years ago, we played every day. But here
Okay.
they
Okay.
have one day off, so they have time to recover, you know.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
the bench didn't help much. The girls
Okay.
off the bench didn't help much because when the coach took a player out, the one that came in couldn't really put couldn't wasn't that much effective. So it was kind of difficult for the girls. But I think it should more of the mental stuff because they didn't just play. You know, they didn't
Okay.
just play. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I know that France they
Mm.
have a good team as well, but at least would have done much more better than what we put up.
Okay. So I just want to be sure you are supporting Nigeria, not
Uh-uh.
France.
What's here for support now? So which kind of question be that?
Okay. Okay. So, okay. I just wanted to be sure. You know now. You know, say this jackpot thing sometimes they pass
I
power
know.
now.
Nigeria still remain Nigeria now. If France is like now, France is playing against Australia and they support France, maybe. But
Okay,
when
no,
they're playing
most
against
definitely.
Nigeria, ha, I
Nigeria,
cannot have her, no matter what, motherland and motherland now.
motherland. Oh.
Uh,
Uh, so like this are our game against Canada.
yeah,
I'm even yet to see the highlights for now because I was just preparing for this. What was your how do you think it went in your words?
Uh, Good enough, but they could still do better. When you're leading a team with 7 to 9 points into the game, you have to try to
Okay,
keep up to it. But
okay,
eventually we lost focus. But we did a very good
okay,
defensive job, right? But we lost a bit of
okay.
focus on our fast breaks, whereby we couldn't
Okay.
make them, and then you would discover that Canada met up, and at the end of the first quarter, they were both at 18-18. So I think we just need a little bit of consistency in our game.
Okay.
We know each player knows her best way, how she's to play, who is the best shooter, what she can do at a time. So I think if they use
Yeah.
their various qualities, the little they can do, they would have done much more better than that. But it was a good game. It was a good
Okay.
game
Well,
because they really came out all out to fight this time. I think they really wanted to make us proud and make history for themselves. So the
mm,
defense was quite solid. So it was good. It was good.
oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I think each player that
Do
came
you,
off the bench today tried to put her own input. So it wasn't bad.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like okay, like moving forward, like I know we've qualified for the quarterfinals. And then of course now this not the time where John will don't mature
Ah.
now. So John will don't turn forest. so and what do you think? What do you think our chances may be? I know we all hope for the best. We all hope we get the gold and everything. But I mean, what do you think our chances are? Do you think are they? Is it becoming more? I know it's becoming more crucial. But what's your opinion?
Like we always say, it's one ball. So once it's not over, it's not over.
Mm,
They just have to
wonderful.
go all out like they did today and much more. Then the coach
Yeah.
needs to eventually try to see her matchup or her fives that's on the floor sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes some
Yeah.
takes some more time to wake up. I believe it will be tough, but a game is never won without being played.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, it's not
True.
over until it's over. So we'll wait till then
Yeah.
and see. But now I
Mm.
think they really need to bring out the Tigress teeth, and go
Real,
crush
yes.
her something.
Ah,
They need to
it's
run
true.
now. So
They need to run a lot. Yes, that's so
it's
true.
not just
Like
they shouldn't just be satisfied saying, "Okay, we've gotten here." No, even if they're going to say, "Okay, they will be beaten," they should be beaten with their heads up. They said we've given it all out and they were just better than us. So
that's
let's
true.
see and let's just wait and see. It's in the full
Yeah,
day.
I mean,
So
good things are happening. Good things are happening. So I mean, I don't think I think it's in order to expect.
it's encouraging. But I don't okay,
Yeah.
we've gotten here and it's enough. No, they should go all out and anything can happen. Anything can
Anything can
happen.
happen.
Yeah,
You're so right.
yeah.
You're so right.
It could be a bad
Yeah. Okay.
day for the other team and we could be a good day
Yeah.
for us. So
Hmm. It's true.
mm,
It's so true. Or it could be a very, very good day for us and we'll just deal with
everything
everybody.
might just work out for good. So
Yes,
the
yes.
coaches have to go back to the
Amen to
drawing
that.
boards and start drawing their plans. So
Hmm. Let's see how it
yeah.
goes. Let's see how it goes. Like the coach um what's
Reina?
somebody Wakama?
Reina
Eh?
Wakama?
Wakama, yes, sorry. She's actually quite young, like from what I heard. She's actually quite young. I mean, what's your take on her coaching style? Do you
Um,
see are there any, I mean, I know she's a very great coach for them. Do you see any signs of inexperience, or do you think she's actually like, you know what I mean? Let's analyze.
um, I see Coach Wakama more of a defensive coach, if
Okay.
I'm right. You know,
Okay.
because I know that probably maybe technically some of our young girls are still having difficulties in certain things. But looking at the
Okay.
kind of defense they've played in the against Australia and against Canada this afternoon,
Yeah.
I believe she
Yeah.
is more of a defensive coach, which is very good.
Okay.
You know, you see
Well, I
her
mean,
girls are
it's
very, very fit. They go out all out on the ball. They try to do everything just the way she acts. But when it comes to the
okay.
offensive aspect of it, it's either let me not say I'm not in there to really hear what she tells them, but when I look at the plays they put up, it's not bad, but our girls have not been able to really, really use it rightly, you know. Once in a while it comes up, but I think they still really need to move the ball more. Those
I
screens,
think.
they have to set them right. And then I think everything will come up. But I think she's a
Okay.
good coach. She's young. She's using her young
Okay.
experience, and she can do things. So far, so good. She's done it. So, that what more can you say?
Of course. I mean, you just put it perfectly. I mean, I'm team Rena, man. Like
No, she's young,
she's the,
but
she's the,
you know, sometimes we need some young energy in everything we do.
yeah, so
So
true.
that's just
So
what's
true.
happening. And the team is quite young. So I
Mm.
think it's all good. Mm.
Yes, I'm so wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, let me talk some. Let me digress a bit. There's been a lot of controversy going on in these Olympics, like with the whole the boxing issue, like the issue about the boxing, the this male female fighter that knocked out the Italian lady, then the opening ceremony, all that controversy. I mean, how is it playing out in France? Is it as bad inside as it looks from outside?
No.
Because the whole world, they're losing their minds.
People lose their minds for everything. Like I was talking today with someone. I said, why are people
Mm,
losing their minds? That's the world we're living in, Mr. Gang.
yes.
That's
Yes.
actually the world we're looking in. People are making controversies against the opening ceremony. Okay, what's wrong with the opening ceremony, if I may
Mm,
ask? People said somebody got naked, this one, that one. I said, yes, excuse me, if it was some kind of musician that we liked and she came with only her undies, or even naked under a net to play some music and we are dancing to it, we're fine, right? France displayed their culture. France displayed what the world looks like today. So I don't see what the problem is. Everybody has a
okay.
right to his opinion. As for myself,
Mm,
I enjoyed every bit of it. And that is the
okay.
world we're
Okay.
living with today. Male or female who become transgender, homosexuals, whatever it is. Now we have the right to build our children in the way we want them to grow up. But we
Mm,
cannot judge people who do their own thing. And for me, like I
okay.
said, I'm not a hypocrite. That's the world we're living in. I'm bringing up my kids in the way I would want them to be brought up. So those
Mm,
people, they didn't, probably it's their choice. So when people come out saying there are controversies here and there, the IOC, the
yeah.
NOC, or whoever knew that person was a male, female, or whatsoever, it was allowed. So why are we shouting about it?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
shouldn't.
So true. So true. You
Everybody
know,
knew.
that,
It's either you say, okay, I go against her, or I don't go against her. I fight against her,
yeah.
I don't fight against her. But if she was
Mm.
accepted into it, why are people shouting?
You know, it's a valid point. It's actually a
So
valid
it's
point.
everybody wants to talk about something. So as for me, I allow people to talk about something. Maybe it helps in bringing up good health. I don't understand, but I don't, I don't really, really go into those kind of stuff, you know. Today, the world portrays
Yes.
what the world we're living in. So we should stop being, I'm not saying being, let me just say being naive and stop being
Yes.
hypocrites.
Mm, mm. we're in the world that we're in right now. That's just the
That's the
truth.
world we're
That's just
living in, be it in
mm,
Africa or in America, in wherever, in all the
yeah.
continents. That's what the world we're living in today.
Mm,
So, if we don't want to live in that world, a generation came forth before us. So, what happened? So, if we do
so
not
true.
want to transmit that generation, we have to bring up our younger ones today and explain to them why we do not want to be. But people choose who they want to be,
Mm.
when they want to be, and how they want to be.
That's a very interesting take. Really interesting take. So watching basketball. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm
You were saying
listening.
something.
I-
Okay. Well, are you also following the men's game?
yeah, I watched a bit of South Sudan, the African male team we had. So I followed a bit of the men, but not so much.
Okay.
More of into the
Okay.
female, So
Of
I
course,
watch
of
the men
course.
when my son is watching the men most times. So if they are
Okay.
much more into
Okay.
the female games than that of the male.
Yes, of course. There was a time I called you. You told me that you were playing a competition. And I told you I didn't know you still played. So how's that going?
Well, I finally retired this year. All this
Oh, you
while
finally
I've been
retired this year.
active. I've been playing in the National League here. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah, so
Okay. Well, finally. So what made you hang up the boots?
I'm tired. Because actually here I've been the co-president of the when you're a president of a club here in France. Sorry.
Okay. No. So I think the network went out on my side. So can you start again
Oh,
from the question?
okay. I wasn't just playing alone. I've been the co-president of the club for the past 7 years. I preside the club
Okay.
here.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
with a lot of homework, I play sometimes. I coach as well, and
Oh,
I have a lot of things doing for the club. So because when you're the president of a basketball club here, it takes a lot of your time. There are a lot of paperwork, a lot of reunions, meetings, and all that. So
okay.
this year, after I played this season, I didn't want to go ahead with my mandate anymore. I told them after
Okay.
the season I was going to stop. And more so, I need to take care of my boys because my boys are going into the high level sports as well. So
Okay.
it will take a lot of my time. So I
Okay.
cannot really play and then take care of my boys who play at the same time. So it has been stressful all these years. I love what I do, but I know the club was disappointed I was going to leave the presidency as well. But I had to
Yeah.
make a choice. My boys come
Yeah.
first, So because my little boy will be going into the high level sports here, where they've been selected to go to what we call here the Pole Espoir, where they bring them
Okay.
up for the national team. So his elder brother
Oh,
went through it. He'll be going by September. So I need to have a
okay.
lot more time for him than myself. So I had to put off my shoes this time. But actually, I'm tired.
Oh, of course, but you know be wood.
Uh, I don't tire because sometimes I preside, but when my players get injured, I come back, I play a full season and all that. So I
Uh,
love to play anyway, but and with my knee that hurts, I use it
yeah.
as well as an excuse to stop. So because if not, I'll
Of
keep going
course.
and going and going. I go reach
Oh,
60 years, I will still dey play.
yeah. They say somebody say basketball na disease.
I'm
We no
telling
one
you.
leave you.
So what I did this time was like, since my knee hurts, all my players were like, Goovy, aren't you going to run? I said, our mama wanna leave. But even if I need to run, I need lion behind my back, may chase me because I know I'll run
I
again.
know, right? So speaking about your boys, they play
Yeah.
basketball too.
Yeah.
And then like, what are their ages, if I may ask?
What's that one? Sorry.
Their ages.
Ryan is 19 and O'Neal is 13. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So at least now at least now you have to protect your pension plan.
Abby?
Now, in school now, see NBA now, everybody for NBA now, this one junior, that one junior. So please enter that team. Enter the place.
Yeah.
Wow,
No, they are doing
that's
well in
amazing.
their
That's
sports,
amazing.
so I'm glad. Yeah. They follow their
Wow.
mama's footsteps, so good.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I know I don't think they can have a better inspiration than their mother.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah, yeah, right. So I mean, okay, like let's talk about Nigerian basketball. At least let's just what do you think? Like with what's going on in Nigerian basketball? I mean, what can you point out the issues and what do you think are the solutions? You're already laughing. Why are you laughing? You're already laughing.
Because this subject, anybody
Uh,
they carry a come and say, I just tell them, say, I carry go beguna.
I like I know that just
No, no,
this.
just leave me. Oh.
Okay, I think. Okay, I think that one, by
But
not.
if they do, I go just talk small. Anyway,
Okay.
Nigerian basketball, all of us know it's not today's issue. You know,
Yeah,
it's not today's issue. It's an issue
it's true.
before even some of us came into the sports. But unfortunately, we've not used all of our experiences. When I mean all of our experiences, I mean be it players, be it administrators, be it what we've gained from the foreign land. Unfortunately, we've not been able to use it perfectly. Not even, I wouldn't even say perfectly, use it a little bit. You know, it's too much one sided every time. It's too much. I know who. It's too much. We if it's not my friend, we can work together. So the politics in it, unfortunately, it's the detriment of the youth who really love this game. You know, so that's why personally, that's why you hardly see me comment on anything that has to do with our administration. Because why I'm saying that is because I've been a president of a club here for 7 years. So
Yeah.
being an administrator, I know what it is to be an administrator. I might
Yeah.
not like you, but what can I benefit from you to build my club? I will keep my differences aside. We'll work together.
Yeah.
I'm not working for myself. I'm working for the youths here.
Mm.
So if we all could just do a little bit of that, we'll be our basketball will be. I don't know. We should be comparing today with the Europeans because we have all what it takes. When it comes
True.
to materials, when it comes to raw materials, as we humans, if it comes to people that have the IQ, we have them. People that have ex-international players, we have them. So why can't we just humble ourselves and just work together?
I think that is. I think you have hit the hammer on the nail that is on the head.
It's just humble ourselves and work together. You
Wow.
so
And it's so.
there's so many things I hear, but I don't comment because sincerely, I'm not comment. I wouldn't even comment because it wouldn't even help in any way.
You're so right.
You know,
You're so right.
just to tell you a little story, I'm saying it now because the Olympics is going on here in France. You know, like
Okay.
everybody knows I'm in France.
Mm.
I'm not saying it's a must, right? But everybody knows
Yeah.
I'm in France. They
Mm.
know I played for the national team, all right?
Mm.
The
Yeah.
Tigress, it's France is my home, no matter what. The Tigress are coming around. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not saying I'm that important. But at least
Okay. Sorry.
you could say, oh,
Where
Goovy, it's in France.
can you go back again?
Her team is coming to play. Just a phone
Okay.
call. Goovy, can you be there? Just to say hello. But
Wow.
you know, so
Mm.
if not for Aisha, who we played together in the Olympics and we've been friends all these years, immediately she arrived,
Yeah.
she said, Goovy, look, we've arrived. That was the person that communicated. That
Yes.
was about 1 a.m.,
Yes.
you know.
Mm.
I saw her message.
Yes.
I was, well, I'm sorry, I say I'm not in Paris right now, but I wish you people a good stay. I'll definitely come to see one of the games, you know. I'm not asking for
Wow.
anything. But when you see the Europeans, that is why I say sometimes we just need to be humble. These girls probably they'll go. Let me just say, let me give an opposite example. The French team are traveling to Nigeria. And they definitely
Mm.
know maybe one or two of their players are over there in Nigeria. They'll definitely
Yeah.
contact them.
Yes. So true.
You know,
So true.
I'm not asking to be anything. I don't even want to be anything. Sorry to say it openly. You know, but that is why so many ex-players feel they've been neglected. And I understand them. You know, so it's important for we the administrators, not we, them the administrators, because me, I'm only an administrator here in France,
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
able to
Yes.
put these ex-players in the limelight a little bit to appreciate
Mm.
what they've done for the country.
You're so right.
You
You're
know,
so right.
so
You're,
it's all about coming together. The same politics we play on the national level when it doesn't come to the sports, the same politics we play in sports. So, at the
mm.
detriment of who? Today, we are proud that the Nigerian team has gotten to the quarterfinals. But how did we get there? Where is
True.
the team
True.
that took this qualified to the Olympics?
Mm.
Nobody thinks about it, but there were so many other players on this team that
That's
are not here
actually
today.
you're right.
So, as for me, I I don't have a problem, man. That's why I don't talk about politics. And I say I'm not interested in talking about Nigerian politics. If they call
Yeah.
upon me to give help if needed,
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah.
But sincerely, like I'm saying, today the way the national body is, it will take a lot of sage or wisdom for one to say, okay, I'm coming forth. But if not, I'm just
Mm.
fine.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I think that's a very wise take. Very, very, very wise take.
Yeah.
Right. Nguveren, I think this was a very, very nice hangout. This wasn't even an interview, it was a hangout. It was a very, very nice hangout, and I'm
Happy.
just so I'm just so pleased that you took out time from your very, very busy schedule. You said you have left the work. So what are you up to now? If you're
But
not if,
I'm still in the club anyway, but I'm not holding
okay.
any administrative post anymore because I'm
Okay.
just there to see further if need be certain advices or all that. I'm always there, you
Okay.
know. You know, because
Okay.
I was taking care of the first team which plays on the national one. The national one is the third division here in France. So
Okay.
um, that you have the Pro A, the Pro B, then you have the national one, which is in between the professional and the amateur. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work. So
Okay.
I am just staying within the club to foresee a few things if need be, and then
Yes.
aside that I work at a hospital, so I have my job, then I take care of the kids, so. And then for the fact going back,